Hey, hi, it's your boy Nate. I read books because reading is sexy, and if you're not reading, you're not sexy. Today is the January wrap-up. Let's go. January was a bit busy for me, so not too many books on the roster, but let's get into it. Also, book goals, 52. That's it, 52 a year. I feel like that's fine. That's a book a week. If I can get to 52 books this year and more than that, double that, fine. But 52, plenty enough for me. But we did 10 this month. Started off with Mike Kelley, Interviews, Conversations, and Chit-Chat. These are a collection of interviews from 1986 to 2004. I don't know much about Mike Kelley, and I still don't know much about him, other than that he is a multidisciplinary artist, but works in different mediums and sculpture and media art. Yeah, I always found him in the foregrounds. He always seems to be with Paul McCarthy and other sort of like avant-garde extremist artists. It's really interesting to see like John Waters included in this interview, as well as Harmony Korine, and those were the two big standouts for me. Ooh, Larry Clark as well. Really interesting things. He seems to be really down to earth when it comes to these characters, and yeah, finished it in one go because I was waiting for my friend to finish his plans and stuff, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna finish this book at the Geffen Contemporary in LA, and I did. So I was at the museum for like 3 hours, plus another hour because of the exhibition. Time well spent, honestly. I love when museums just have like big library and you can like sift through things. I forget that like museums are also just a place of open source knowledge, and it was just nice to sift through books that I haven't seen before. At the gift shop, I finished The Ice Storm by John Ashbery. Okay, so these are published by Hanuman Editions. They're really interesting. They're like yay big, the size of your palm. They're literally like bouche de roman. They're so tiny. There's a few other interesting ones. Let me see. Let me pull this up real quick. Oh, I know there's one by Bora Chung. There's one by Eileen Miles. Ooh, there's one by Cookie Mueller. Cute, but they're just these like really tiny books that remind me a lot of like what Isolari Books is doing. They also do these like really tiny books that literally just fit in your pocket. For this one, it's essentially a short story about a couple that is having an existential crisis in that like Walden kind of way, like where do I belong in nature, but still it's saturated in that Americana suburbia minutia. Yeah, perfect. Great way to spend 30 minutes. You can finish it in an afternoon, and yeah, I love Ashbery's prose. There's something so cosmical, but also utterly pedestrian. Oh, is pedestrian the word I want to say? There's the city voice to it as well, and I love that mixture of cosmic and city intertwined in this little cute book. And I want to get my hands on more. They're really adorable, and they have like rereadability quality to them. Isn't that great? I finished 2 books at a museum, y'all. Ain't that cute? Ain't that darling? Next up, I did a poetry collection, and let me make this note real quick that I love doing poetry collections very early on in the year because they give me the sense that I'm reading a bunch. So this one is Ecstasy, poems by Alex Dimitrov. I love Alex. He is a writer based in New York. He's sort of like a John O'Hara without all the wit, but all the more gay boy. They're just sad gay boy problems that surround the anxieties of the world and follow suit of like, oh, how do I move about the world as the rest of the world is up in flames? Really cute collection. I definitely could go back through these. Some poems were a mere 2 lines, some 3 to 4 pages. He just has this really natural quality to his work that is so inviting. Yeah, I think speaks to the ethos of any mid-20-something-year-old and might actually end up in top 10 of the year. Just because of the ease and rereadability that this has. Sort of a source of inspiration of like how easy it seems to whip up a poem. And I love that naturalistic quality that Alex has. If you sort of want like an appetizer to his work, he has a Substack, which I've followed for a really long time, and it's just nice to squeeze in one of his poems very early in the morning. This is out by Knopf, April Fool's Day, so look out for it. It's cute. Another poetry collection, I did The Colossus by Sylvia Plath. This one was eerie, spooky, wintry. It is a close inspection of nature and looking at all the spores of a mushroom and feeling the the wet bark of fallen trees and sort of the decay and yet splendor of birth natural to the woods, this constant snake eating its tail of forestry. The only other poetry collection that I've read by Plath is Ariel, where I think there's more thematic leanings in that one. Literally, this one is just close examinations of nature and the play of words. Here, I think you can see her playing with how two words come together, their musicality, their rhythm together, just being in the woods for way too damn long. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Sometimes I forget how musical language can be, how beautiful prose can be. It's really nice to listen to Plath's music through this collection. Okay, finally, y'all. I have a physical for y'all. Uh-oh, where did that go? Okay, what am I looking for? Okay, here we go. On the plane ride over from LA to Korea, I finished The Really Dead Wives of New Jersey by Astrid Dahl. And y'all, I had no idea. I had people, Chanel chapters, thank you. I had no idea that this is actually written by Laura Dern. Nope. Anna Dern. Wrong Dern, y'all. Laura, no, I just said it again. Anna Dern. Anna Dern, the author of Perfume and Pain. The main character in that is named Astrid Dahl, and here she is, a writer of this book, and I had no idea. I was so stupid. I didn't make that connection before. Thank you, Chanel, for making that connection. But this is fun. Hope Bennett marries one of the Fontanas, and with that, she gets involved in part of a Desperate Housewives kind of TV show. Murder is involved. Money is being moved, and bodies are dropping dead like flies. And it's just fun. It was a romp. Something quick, flashy, and just fun. I like fun, all right? I do. I like fun. And this was just fun. It was just pure plot, and the book's fun because it does that thing where they go into like confessionals and they're talking to the camera. So you get moments of that too, in like a script style way. Just loads of fun. This is, I believe, already out. I was actually talking to Astrid Dahl on Instagram, and I was just like, wait, this isn't a real person? It's Anna Dern. Copyright 2025, Anna Dern. It's out sometime in January, y'all. And I love that she blurbs the book herself, which is great. She says, secrets, gallows humor, campy reality TV stars. Astrid Dahl's Laugh Out Loud Funny, The Really Dead Wives of New Jersey is the kind of book I wanted to live inside. I nearly wish I'd written it myself. God, I love Dern. Great sense of humor. Anyway, if you like Dern's writing, you'll definitely love this. It's just fun. Easy to finish over a weekend, and I just love her writing and her sense of humor. Next up, I did Run River of Joan Didion. If y'all must know, I did finish filming my Joan Didion tier list. It's about an hour long, and I am trying to figure out how to cut all of that down. But yeah, wanted to reread this to sort of create my tier ranking. This was nice to revisit. It's not Didion's best, but it is her debut. It surrounds Lily and her husband. Someone is murdered in the family, and it's an unraveling of secrets, betrayals, and this coming together, this falling apart. How do we stay with each other? And in essence, then, what is love? What is true love? And how do we strive to be together while headed towards truth and finding truth for ourselves and living truth? You can totally tell that Didion was more interested in the beginning and the end of the book, and sort of the middle, it just unravels in this really dull way. But it's hot. There's a Southern Gothic quality to it, but it's set in California. People are drinking, and they're all drunk, and they're mean, and they say things they don't mean, and it's just wonderful fun. Who doesn't love that at a family party? Anyway, great stuff. And yeah, Didion tier list will come out soonish. Ooh, exciting. Very, very exciting. Y'all, with the great Ben Reads Good. And also, if you're not following Ben, well, what's going on? If you're not subbed to him, go on, do it. He's great. Honestly, he does better book talk than me. Ben Reads Good, for real. Because this was a good read. Y'all, Claudia, Piñeiro, Elena knows. Elena must find the truth about her dead daughter. Elena is also suffering from Parkinson's. It's a beautiful examination of the body, machismo, the patriarchal society, fraught relationships that we have with our family members, the mother and daughter relationship especially. Oh, it's just so beautifully done. There's this like rhythm and pace to the book where you should probably sit with it in one sitting to be in the world and be with the characters here. Just the way that the themes layer over each other, it's just so rich and swift and sad and angry and funny, and it's just such a rush of emotions that reminds me a lot of, say, Paradise by Fernando Melchor or The Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. Yeah, it's just so much heat, anger, hate to it that propels the book into getting to the truth and living with the truth and what the truth means for Elena and how she must bear with it. Easy 5 stars, and it might end up in top 10 of the year, honestly, because this... Who can beat this? Who can beat this? Thank you, Ben. Really great notes. He's a very careful reader, and just such a joy to do such a great book with him at the beginning of the year. Couldn't have asked for more. Love you, Ben. What else we got here? Ooh, yes. I also, as an ARC, I did See Friendship by Jeremy Gordon. This is out by Harper Perennial, March 4th. It's a cutie. It's sort of an indie book about Jacob, and he's a journalist, and he's assigned a project to create this podcast surrounding friendship, the loss of friends, actual partying, but also actual dying, dealing with grief of people you had in high school or in university. And as he's compiling or trying to map out this podcast, he looks back at grief and what grief means to him. And at first it was like an even 3 stars for me, but as I was getting into it, I was just like, you know what? We're not taught about how to grieve when we grow up. It's not a thing that is ever learned, and no one ever teaches you it, and it's just something that has to happen to you in order to be better and do better for others when they're in the process of grieving. Decades, over decades, it's so hard to console somebody. It's never easy, and we're never taught how to do it or how to help each other. And so I thought this book was really gentle in its approach to the coming together of people in the past and learning how to console better. And yeah, I thought this was really special. It's a debut, and Gordon himself has written a few articles here and there, but his writing is charming, funny, and especially near the end where it really, really sings. Check it out. Harper Perennial, March 4th. And then just yesterday, I finally finished Quentin Tarantino's Cinema Speculation. Oof, let me just say, Tarantino, better speaker than he is a writer. Like, put him on the panels, not on the pages. It looks at a lot of films from the 70s and 80s to a point where, I don't know, he would start an essay and then it would veer off into many different tangents, and then I'm just like, okay, wait, hold up. I don't have any of this film knowledge to really get what you're trying to say, Quentin. So a lot of this was also watching a lot of movies, looking at the ones he mentioned and seeing all the comparisons he was making, but a great look at Scorsese, Paul Schrader, Brian De Palma. Yeah, sort of this gang of great filmmakers post-New Hollywood that were doing really inventive, cool stuff. Overlapped a bunch. Did anyone know that Paul Schrader wrote Taxi Driver and it was meant for Brian De Palma, but De Palma didn't want to make it. And if anyone didn't know, De Palma made Carrie. He adapted Stephen King's Carrie. He didn't want to do Taxi Driver, and so it was passed off to Scorsese. And in Scorsese's hands, it was phenomenal. So it's just interesting to look at all of those things. A really deep look at films from the 70s and 80s, some of which I've watched and had the pleasure of watching. Tarantino is an unfocused writer. He has way too many tangents, and it's a bit all over the place, but he knows his stuff, and it's just fun to look at everything that he knows and everything that he shares. If you enjoy movies or want to know more about movies in the 70s and 80s, definitely rec this. Okay, and last book of the month. It is The Book of Delights by Ross Gay. I listened to this on audio. It's essentially just Ross himself documenting all of the delights, all the little delights in his days. At first I was like, okay. Midway through I was like, oh, this is a bit grating. And by the end, I just realized he was trying to earn a license to write about poop, testicles, and oiling your dick. I thought this was just fine. Fun in theory and practice, and perhaps important for us to really reframe the anxieties and blues in our weeks to see what delights we can pick up from all of the hurt that we are feeling. I will say, it has made me be a bit more optimistic and look at life in a way where it is beautiful and there is much to be grateful for. Yeah, it was great to sort of just put this on and listen to while I was, making my bed or making coffee in the morning or doing like simple little tasks. And I realized how delightful these tasks are actually in the grand scheme of things. It's just like, if I don't make my bed in the morning, then I'm kind of an upset, grouchy person for the rest of the day. I just like looking at a made bed, knowing that I can jump back into it, thrashing the blankets and covers all myself, just to do it again the next day. Putting things away and cleaning up here and there. All of it's important and all of it is special and provides to the delight we have in the day. Ross has such a great voice too. He has such a hearty, warm voice that makes the audiobook a lot more beautiful to dip into. That is just so nice. Like, I could listen to Ross all day. He's a great speaker. Definitely rec this on audio if you get the chance. That's all the books I read in January. Let me know what you read in January. Don't forget, I'm a Blackwell's affiliate. So if you enjoyed me talking about any of these books, please consider using my affiliate link downstairs to pick up any of these books or for any of your other bookish needs. Blackwell's offers free shipping on books, international free shipping. And y'all, if it's free, it's for me. It was great talking to ya. All right, as always, be well, do good work, keep in touch. I'm sorry, I have to make a thumbnail. I never know how to, oh, God, it's embarrassing. Well, I don't even have that many physical books to hold up, so it's like, how's this? Do you like this? Hold him like a baby. I don't know what to do. Is this fine?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, that's gonna be fine.